Felicia, I don't know if you know, but there's a sneaky little championship fight happening this Saturday from Norfolk, Virginia. It's a UFC flyweight championship fight, so let's actually go ahead and get into it. I'm going to do my picks on just the main card here. First up, I'm choosing, I keep spacing on the names. I don't know why. Grant Dawson versus Derek Minner or Minor. I'm choosing Grant Dawson to beat Derek Minner or Derek Minor. I am choosing Megan Anderson, hopefully she makes weight, to beat Norma Dumont. I am choosing Ian Kotalaba to beat Magomov Akulov, and that is the one that I'm gonna go ahead and switch that pick because I'm gonna switch the pick. I'm choosing Magomed Akulov to beat Ian Kotalaba. Be looking out for me to switch that again, but right now we are going to go with Magomed. Now I'm choosing Felicia Spencer to beat Zara Farin, and I don't know much about Zara, so I could be wrong about that. Let me just say that right now. Felicia Spencer, if she gets another win here, they'll probably go ahead and give her a title shot because this is the featherweight division and it's very, very shallow, and I want Amanda Nunes to defend that belt. So I'm going for Felicia Spencer on that one, but I got to do more research on Farin. I have to say that right now. Don't know much about her at all, but going with Felicia. That is the co-main event. Now, main event, and we are seeing again, so the UFC flyweight title holder is Henry Cejudo. After this, he will vacate that belt, and the winner of this fight here will become the UFC new flyweight champion. So we are seeing, we'll say the lowest ranked person first. This is going to be Deiveson Figueiredo versus Joseph Benavidez. Okay, so this is for the vacant flyweight belt. Now, dealing with Figueiredo. He is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's very strong, and I actually think he's going to have more punching power than Joseph is. He's actually got the reach advantage by about 3 inches. He's got the leg advantage too with the kicks, but again, he's got knockouts, he's got TKOs with the hands. I do think he's going to be a bit more powerful than Joseph. Now, as far as who's faster, I'm not quite sure. Body movement wise, I do think that's going to be Joseph. I think he's going to be faster there. As far as the ground goes, he is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, very high level. I did a little bit of research there. He under the tutelage of Yair Lourenco. I didn't quite know who that was, but Jussier Formiga also got his black belt there. So did Renan Barão, Gleason Tebow. So I was like, okay, who's this cat? Did a little bit more research. When he's a black belt, he hooked up with Andre Pederneiras. And that's who he got his black belt from. So again, that tree, there's very few. There's about 5 good, huge jiu-jitsu trees because all black belts are not treated equally. So he is a very high level black belt. And speaking of Jussier Formiga, Joseph Benavidez has a win over him. So now let's talk about Joseph Benavidez, who I believe is ranked number 3. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong there. Joseph Benavidez, he has a wrestling base. He does have submissions. He does have great submission defense as well. Again, like I said, he has a win over Formiga. That wrestling base, I do believe that physically he will be physically stronger than Figueiredo. These names on this card, oh my gosh, they got me all tongue-tied. Deiveson, I do think he'll be physically stronger than him as far as body-wise. He'll be able to muscle up against the cage, probably get him down and ground and pound where I think he'll need to stay. Because again, I think that Deiveson has more punching power than him as far as hand speed. I don't know. As far as foot speed too, I don't know. And as we see with the flyweights, they're all fast. All of them. So the speed does matter because the punches will blur together, and who's ever hitting those shots and landing those shots, if you can see it, if the judges can see it, it's really hard to see who's landing cleanly with these flyweights, especially in the first few rounds, because they're all so fast. As far as cardio, they all have great cardio. Neither one of them is going to slow down. So I think that Joseph Benavidez is going to be a bit bigger than he is, even a bit thicker, even though, again, Deiveson has the height and the reach advantage, but I think that Joseph is going to be a bit thicker. He's going to need to get him against the cage and take him down, where I think he'll have the advantage there with his ground and pound, his wrestling. I think he'll have enough defense to stay off that black belt in jiu-jitsu, those submissions, although he'll have to be careful with that. But again, I think his game is to get on the ground. Now, Deiveson, if you do find that you do have some slick submissions, you can bait him into bad movement on the ground. Maybe you can work something there. Maybe he's not as strong as I think he's going to be. There's a lot of question marks here. I think this is a very competitive match. They have not fought each other. I think it's going to be a good fight, because they both want to win, and they've both been, especially Joseph Benavidez, ever since DJ has left, he's been on a mission to show that the flyweight division deserves to be there. We are exciting. We do have knockouts. We do have TKOs. We do have submission victories. We have all of that. We deserve to be here. So I think they're both planning to put on a show. They've got the main event here, and I'm actually going to pick Joseph Benavidez. You know what? It's more of a story for me because I actually don't know who's going to win this. So again, for me, I'm a little biased here. So let me let you know, a little biased here. I've been watching Joseph since he's come to the UFC. For him to beat DJ and then lose twice to DJ and then beat Henry, have a win over Henry Cejudo, then have Henry move up. If you know anything about me, I love the story of the person who just keeps on trying. You know, whoever thought that Michael Bisping was ever going to be champion, right? But he just kept trying, and when the opportunity was there, he talked his way into that fight. He became champion at like 36 years old, and not as a heavyweight, where that's kind of common, right? Later in his career. And so that's kind of how I am, where I'm at in life. I'm just like, just keep trying, Janelle. Just keep trying. And so it pulls on my heartstrings to see Joseph Benavidez. He has kept trying throughout all of these years, and now he's here. He has a title shot, and I think he could win and finally become champion after all this time, right? After losing twice to DJ. So yeah, so it kind of pulls on my heartstrings there. I do have a little bias here. I want to let you know about that because I think this is a toss-up. Again, we're going to see early on who, power-wise, if that power of Deiveson is really going to affect Joseph Benavidez. Because again, I do think he punches harder than him. But I'm going with Joseph Benavidez. Let me know what you think of this entire event. Like I said, a little sneaky little championship fight there. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe, like, talk to me. Take care. I'm talking way too fast. And goodbye.